All right, let's just jump straight into this explainer and completely shatter the idea that you need a commercial gym to build serious muscle. For years, we've all been sold this narrative that without heavy iron, squat racks, and complex machines, we're basically doomed to just doing endless, pointless cardio. But today, we are throwing that out the window. We're going to break down a comprehensive, absolutely brutal, no equipment home workout system covering every major muscle group. We're talking chest, shoulders, back, legs, abs, and arms. We'll get into the exact frameworks, the specific cues that actually trigger growth, and a rock-solid 12-week blueprint that is guaranteed to drive real results. Here is the absolute truth of the matter, the crucial point you've got to understand. You don't need a gym to build muscle. You just need resistance. You see, the human body is incredibly adaptable, but it's also kind of simple. It literally has no idea if you're holding a perfectly calibrated steel dumbbell or a heavy bag of textbooks. It only understands mechanical tension and effort. Doing random, sloppy push-ups or just flying through random ab circuits with zero structure, yeah, that's going to get you nowhere. But applying true, calculated resistance, that changes absolutely everything. So here's our game plan for today. First up, we'll tackle the equipment myth. Second, we'll dive into the upper body framework. Third, we'll hit legs, core, and arms. And finally, we'll map out that 12-week blueprint. Let's get into it. Section 1, the equipment myth. Let's take a look at what you actually need to replace all that heavy iron. Spoiler alert, it is not a $1,000 home setup. Seriously, take a look around the room you're sitting in right now. I guarantee you already have everything you need to execute this entire system. Your new high-performance gym consists of just a simple backpack, a standard chair, a blank wall, the floor, and 2 heavy water bottles. That's the whole shebang. I know, it sounds almost too simple, but as we're about to see, when you apply the right leverage and the right tempo, these everyday household items become incredibly powerful tools for muscle hypertrophy. Moving right along to Section 2, the upper body framework. Let's start our anatomical journey and figure out exactly how to force your chest, shoulders, and back to grow without touching a single weight plate. For the chest, we've got a foolproof mantra: stretch, tempo, squeeze. First up, the deficit push-up. You put your hands on a stack of books, and this forces a super deep stretch at the bottom, which is where the muscle actually grows. Next, we hit time under tension. Try doing a 7-second slow tempo push-up. Seriously, a 4-second descent and a 2-second ascent. Your chest will literally be on fire by rep 10. Finally, the squeeze. You take that heavy backpack, press it flat against your chest, and just squeeze hard. Stretch, tempo, squeeze. Boom, chest done. Now, shoulder training is really interesting because we split it into 2 distinct goals: pressing for absolute size and raising for width. Remember, your shoulders are what make you look wider and give you that classic V-taper. So, for size, the Pike Push-up is your new best friend. You get into a downward dog position with your hips high, which creates a vertical press mimicking a heavy overhead dumbbell press. And hey, when that gets too easy, just pop your feet up on a chair. Now, for width, the side delts respond amazingly to high volume. So grabbing those heavy water noddles and knocking out 30 to 40 slow, controlled lateral raises is hands down the absolute best way to build that side delt width. And here is where most home workouts totally drop the ball: the back. Listen, if you skip your back, your posture is going to pay the price. We fix this with 2 key movements. First, rowing for thickness. Just load up that backpack, hinge at the hips, and pull. It functions exactly like a heavy barbell row. Second, we use reverse snow angels to fix your posture. You lie face down and sweep your arms. It sounds easy, but it totally wakes up those neglected upper back muscles that have probably been asleep for years, fixing that forward head posture we all get from staring at our phones. All right, Section 3, legs, core, and arms. Time to build the complete physique and prove once and for all that you can build huge legs without a squat rack. The real trick to building massive legs at home, it isn't gear, it's leverage, and it's tempo. We use these incredible leg destroyers to get the job done. By simply putting one foot on a chair behind you for a Bulgarian split squat, you effectively double the resistance on a single leg without adding a single pound of external weight. Try knocking out 20 of those per leg and let me know how you feel. We follow that right up with tempo squats, a grueling 4 seconds down, a 2-second pause at the bottom, and 2 seconds up. When you can't just slap another plate on a bar, time under tension is how you build muscle. And then we finish the legs with pure, agonizing isometric tension. The wall sit. You just slide down a wall until your thighs are parallel to the floor, and you hold it. At 45 seconds, your quads are screaming. When you hit 90 seconds and your legs start violently shaking, well, that is pure isometric tension driving muscle growth, without you even moving an inch. You hold that until true, absolute failure. Let's shift over to the core. Honestly, we need to unlearn some bad habits here. Ditch those random 100-rep sit-up circuits. They're practically useless for building real structure. The core's actual job is anti-extension, which means holding tension and controlling the spine. Gymnasts know this, which is exactly why we use hollow body holds. You press your lower back firmly into the floor and hold your arms and legs up until you fail. Then, to target the lower abs, we do reverse crunches. But here is the real secret. You have to actually curl your pelvis off the ground. If you're just swinging your legs up and down, you're only working your hip flexors. Curling the pelvis is the game changer that isolates those abs. Okay, onto the arms. The muscles everyone loves to train, but so many get wrong at home. Standard push-ups completely miss the long head of the triceps, and that's the specific muscle that gives your arm that thick, impressive profile from the side. So we switch to overhead backpack extensions to hit that exact area. For biceps, the backpack curl is your new home barbell. Load it up super heavy and pull it towards your chin. And we cap off the whole arm arsenal with a massive pump finisher. Grab those heavy water bottles and curl them as fast as you can with a full range of motion until you literally can't do another rep. We just want to flood the muscle with blood. Section 4, and honestly the climax of this whole explainer, the 12-week blueprint. Having an arsenal of exercises is great, but this blueprint is what actually decides if you grow or if you just waste the next 3 months spinning your wheels. Most folks just copy standard gym routines for their home workouts, like 3 days a week with low rest. But actually, that's a mistake. Heavy gym iron causes massive muscle damage. Because home resistance causes slightly less of that deep muscle teardown, your body recovers faster, which means you can and absolutely should train more frequently. You'll want to lock in a new schedule here. If you're a beginner, start with a solid 3-day push-pull leg split just to build the habit. But if you want maximum growth, graduate to the 5-day split. Hit different body parts Monday through Friday to absolutely maximize your volume and recovery. But listen, that schedule means absolutely nothing without the right intensity. Lean in for a second, because this is the absolute secret to natural lifting. Stop counting reps and start counting effort. You can take your early sets close to failure, maybe leaving a rep or 2 in the tank. But that very last set of every single exercise, it has to be pushed to true agonizing failure. I'm talking about the exact point where another repetition is literally physically impossible. Whether it takes you 15 reps, 30 reps, or 50 reps, the number does not matter, the effort does. And finally, the one rule that makes or breaks this entire 12-week blueprint, progression. If you just do the same exact workout for 2 months straight, your body has literally zero reason to grow. It's already adapted. You have to force progression every single week. It's simple. Just pick one of these 5 methods, add another heavy book to your backpack, slow down your lifting tempo, squeeze out just 1 more repetition, cut your rest time down to 60 seconds, or switch to a harder variation, like elevating your feet for those Pike Push-ups. Every week, something has to get harder. So it really all comes down to this. You've got a backpack, a chair, a wall, and now you have the exact frameworks and the 12-week blueprint to force serious hypertrophy. The gym was never the magic answer. It was always you, your effort, and your consistency. So grab that backpack, commit to the next 12 weeks of forced progression and true failure, and watch what your body is actually capable of building from home. What's your excuse now?